सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. We have completed the Dhruti part of the explanation, wherein Paramatma talked about Satvika Dhruti, Rajasika Dhruti and Tamasika Dhruti. Now we are taking up a new aspect called Sukham. Here also Paramatma is dividing this into three varieties. So let us see the 36th sloka, which defines the three types of Dhruti. Sukham tvidanim trividam sunve bharatarshava abhyasad brahmate yatra sukhantam cha nigacchati. Hey Bharatarshava, O Arjuna, idanim, now, srunu me srunu, listen to me. Trividam, to sukham, to the threefold happiness. The sukham is threefold. Yatra ramate, in which one indulges. Abhyasat, because of habit. Cha, and comes. Nigacchati, dukkhantam, to the end of pain. Hey Bharatarshava, idanintu trividam sukham me srunu. Yatra sukhe jivaha abhyasat ramate dukkhantam cha nigacchati. O Arjuna, now listen from me to the threefold happiness in which one indulges because of habit and comes to the end of pain. So in this particular sloka, Paramatma is introducing a new topic. Three varieties of sukham. So for now we have seen 6 varieties of topics, 3 types of sannyasa, Satvika Sanyasa, Rajasika Sanyasa and Tamasika Sanyasa, and 3 types of jnanam, 3 types of karma, 3 types of karta, 3 types of buddhi, 3 types of dhruti. Now herein, Paramatma is going to explain 3 types of sukham. Bharatarshava, O Arjuna, O Bharata Vamsaja, idanim trividam sukham srunu. Now, the sukham is threefold. May you understand from me. Sukham means happiness. Trividam means 3 different varieties. Again, as usual, they are Satvik, Rajasik and Tamasik. Rajasik Sukham, Tamasik Sukham and Satvik Sukham. Every person wants happiness, wants comfort, wants a kind of tranquil mind. So, this is not, this cannot be achieved by increasing your desires. This is not a special desire like, you want an external thing. It is not like this. This is very natural to every human being. Every person wants happiness. And for happiness only they pursue anything. That is the end result for any pursuit. So, this part is same for every person, Satvik person, Tamasic person or Rajasic person. Everybody is in search of happiness. So, the difference between these 3 varieties, Satvik person, Rajasic person and Tamasic person is what type of happiness they are seeking. There the difference comes. There is no choice whether one wants happiness or not. They don't have right also. So, this is the very natural requirement of any human being. But what type of happiness one seeks, one can choose. So, if a person is an intelligent person, he seeks the real happiness, which stays with him for good. Whereas a person who is ignorant, who doesn't know Shastra, who is not exposed to Shastra, he is happy with the external happiness. He is happy with the external things which gives them a temporary happiness, a fleeting happiness. The same rule applies for food also. Whether to eat food or not, there is no choice. Everybody must eat food. Because hunger is a natural consequence. So, if you are hungry, what to eat? There are umpteen methods. There are many ways. There are choices. Either to eat vegetarian or non-vegetarian. If it is vegetarian, what type of food you have to take? So like this, you can have so many choices. So in the same way, if you are in search of Sukham, if you want Sukham, what type of Sukham? So that I'm going to tell you, may you lend your ears. That's what Paramatma is saying. So whatever the Sukham that is favorable to me, so I will train my mind in order to get the Sukham I am aspiring for. So this is a kind of truth which cannot be denied. So including the taste, this formula applies. Supposing you are offered chapatis and you don't like chapatis, but you eat them, with a murmur or with a kind of, ill feeling. But as you take on and on and on, you get used to that taste and you start liking it. In the similar way, the modern music, supposing you are not interested, you don't like it because it is jarring and blasting. So, whereas the youngsters, they are fond of such music. They play the speakers at the highest pitch. They close all the windows and they, play it at the top of the voice and they go along. But, when you are outside the car, far away from the car, your ears are so jarring and you feel so irritating to hear that high volume sound. But the people inside, they have closed the windows. Then their ears must be feeling very odd, but it is not so. They have trained their ears to high volumes, so they like it. So by abhyasa, you can get sattvika, rajasika and tamasika sukham. So whatever the sukham you want, you can pursue on that and you can get it. So it may be good or it may be bad. But slowly the mind gets used to it and it wants such happiness. So in the same way, in dresses, in choosing your dress, in choosing your food, there are so many things wherein you have so much of choice. So you can train your mind, and once you train your mind, you can like that particular thing. Abhyasad dramate yatraha. Abhyasad dramate yatra. Only by mere practice, you start reveling in that. In the beginning, you may wonder, how come these people are not so crazy about this pop music? But as you keep hearing, then you start, chanting, and you start singing, and you also dance like that. So, abhyasat ramate yatraha. So, dukkhantam cha nigacchati. So, he will surpass the sorrow by entertaining this kind of happiness. So, some people, they write and they do work while the music is on. So they want the music to be continuously heard when they are not doing, or while they read also for examinations, they have music by the side. So this kind of habit, some people they entertain. So that is a kind of sukham for them. So any sukham, may it be sattvika, rajasika, or tamasika, it will surpass the sorrow. So this is the secret. That's why people are after the sukham they choose. All need not choose sattvika sukham. Some may choose rajasika sukham, some may choose tamasika sukham, some may choose tamasika sukham based on their personality. But ultimately, this sukham will surpass, will overcome the sorrow. So we will go by each variety and see what are the each variety of sukham by definition. So Paramatma is defining first sattvika sukham. Yattadagre vishamiva pariname mrutopamam tat sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. So satvikam sukham, satvik happiness, proktam is said to be tat, that, yat tad iva visham, which is like poison, agre in the beginning, amrutopamam, which is like nectar, pariname in the end, atma buddhim prasadajam, and which is born out of clarity of self-knowledge. Yat agre vishamiva pariname amruta upamam tat atma buddhi prasadajam asti tat sukham satvikam proktam. Sattvic happiness is said to be that which is said to be like poison in the beginning, which is like nectar in the end, and which is born out of clarity of self-knowledge. So, all the three kinds of sukham, Paramatma is narrating from sloka number 37 up to 39. Sloka 37, he talks about sattvika sukham. Sloka 38, he talks about rajasika sukham. And sloka 39, he talks about tamasika sukham. So, sattvika sukham is a byproduct of spiritual happiness. It is nothing but a spiritual happiness. By pursuing spirituality, you get happiness. And that happiness is called sattvika sukham. If you lead a spiritual life, you get that. It is not at the end of the journey. While you are traveling, while you are in the journey itself, you enjoy. The Karma Yoga gives you happiness, Upasana Yoga gives you happiness, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti gives you happiness. the beauty is, this is happiness all over. And this happiness is not from outside things, not from outside objects. It is from within. So, this person will not run outside. He is not an extrovert. He doesn't go after Vishaya Vastus. He doesn't go to a movie. He doesn't go to a disco places. He doesn't go to clubs. He doesn't go to parties. So people will pity him. This fellow is a real sample. He's a real specimen. That's what they think. But within him, there is so much of happiness. So he is not at a loss. He is, in fact, at a higher stage of enjoying the happiness. This he alone knows. He enjoys the pinnacle of happiness, the parakashta, Atma Jnanajanya Anandam. This is called Vidyanandam. This is by knowing his own reality. He knows about Ishvara, he gets happiness. He knows about the Jagat, he is happy. He knows about Jiva, he is happy. So by knowing the complete picture of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, he gets that paripurnatvam. He gets the feeling of whole and complete. So the greatness is, he is not after petty things. He is not after the worldly things. In spite of the worldly things, he is happy. In spite of the people, in spite of the spaces, in spite of the places, in spite of the events, he is happy. So this happiness, it cannot be stolen by somebody. It is with him for good. Na choraharyam, na cha rajaharyam, na cha bhatrubhadyam, na cha bharakari, vyekruta vardhata eva nityam, vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. The speciality is, it is Atma Jnanam. So, the wealth of Jnana, the thieves cannot steal. Government cannot levy tax on that. And brothers and sisters will not file a suit, will not sue on you for share, like, the local property. This Jnana Dhanam, the wealth of Jnanam, is not a burden. So even if you teach someone, even if you share your knowledge, it will not diminish. On the contrary, it will become twofold. That's why our Swamiji taught Bhagavad Gita 15 or 20 times. If it is diminishing, he would not have any knowledge, but his knowledge has increased manifold. So, this jnanam will never gets depleted. As you share, you get more and more knowledge. So, it will give you happiness for good. This talks about the substratum. It gives you the tranquility. So, it gives you a peace of mind. A kind of mind where there is no agitation and wavering and vacillation and all that. So that's why the Sattvika Anandam, which is Sattvika Sukham, is the ultimate Sukham. Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. Atma Buddhi means Atma Jnanam. Prasada means with a tranquil mind. With a mind which is not agitated, which is not having any kind of agitation, any kind of commotion. It is always at peace. So where from this ananda comes, where from this happiness comes? Within me, from my very swarupa. So Atmananda is manifested within the mind. Because of this, I feel tranquil and happy. This is this kind of Vidyanandam is called Satvika Anandam. Therefore, it is called Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. But then Paramatma is alerting. What? It is a great Ananda, a beautiful and excellent Ananda, but not easily available. So, you need to ensure for any kind of happiness in the world. But for this kind of happiness, you need not ensure. That is the greatness. But it is not easily available. You have to toil a lot. You have to do sadhana for quite a long time. The first step is you have to do Karma Yoga sadhana. So Karma Yoga means you have to reduce your Sakama karmas and increase your Nishkama karmas. From there, your trouble starts. Karma Yoga gives you, from there your journey starts. Karma Yoga gives you Chitta Suddhi, and from there you have to go to Upasana Yoga. Upasana Yoga makes you, look inward, Antarmukhatvam. So, you should increase value system. Amanitvam, Madambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Daivi Sampatti, all these things you have to acquire. And reduce Asuri Sampatti. So, it is like toiling when you go uphill. So, when you are climbing a hill, naturally you have to toil. You have to, put lot of strain and all that. But once you reach the top of the hill, your destination, then your happiness is so great at the peak. So this is what happens when people go for Manasa Sarovar Parikrama. So it is very tough journey wherein they don't have proper oxygen, and really it is risky for the life also. But they somehow do it and get the happiness. So, ettad agre vishamiva. In the beginning, this journey of Satvika Anandam, it is like poison. Because it is a very tough thing. You have to toil a lot. This is the truth for any field as such. If you want to get into the top of the ladder in your business or in your employment, you have to toil a lot. May it be tennis, may it be cricket, or may it be some fine arts like drawing, or some performing arts like Sangeetam, music and all that. So, you have to toil a lot. If you ask the people who are successful, they will tell you how much they have practiced. They will tell you in the beginning they had to struggle a lot. They really toiled 7 to 8 hours a day in order to reach that position. But pariname, after the toil, after the this abhyasam, amrutopamam, they get this amrutam, the anandam, which is the ultimate result of this. Tat sukam satvikam proktam. That very sukam is called satvikam. Ananda, which is acquired after toil, is called satvika sukam. What type of sukam? It is sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. You got, so you're happy. So first stage, sampatti, you got, so you're happy. Then you get atma jnanam, that Atmanandam you got, that is Satvika Sukham. Though in the beginning it looks like poison, but at the end it is like nectar. So, Atma Jnanam gives you happiness, and that very happiness, that very Sukham, is called Satvika Sukham. This is what you have to understand. Then we will proceed to the Rajasika Sukham, which is mentioned in sloka number 38. Vishayendriya samyogat tadagre mrutopamam pariname vishamiva tat sukham rajasam smutam. So, Rajasam Sukham, Rajasic happiness, Smutam Tat is said to be that. Yat Tat Amrutopamam, which is like nectar. Agre, in the beginning. Iva Visham, which is like poison. Pariname, in the end. Vishayendriya Samyogat, which is born out of the contact between sense objects and sense organs. Yat Vishaya Indriya Samyogat Agre Amruta Upamam Tat Pariname Visham Yuva Asti Tat Sukham Rajasam Smutam. So, Rajasic happiness is said to be that which is like nectar in the beginning, which is like the poison in the end, and which is born out of contact between sense objects and sense organs. So, in this sloka, Paramatma is discussing about the Rajasika Sukham. Rajasika Sukham is born out of Indriyas. When Indriyas are Jnanendriyas are divided into 5, Shabda, Sparsa, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. They are into these objects. So, ears are mad after sounds, eyes are mad after Rupa, then the body is mad after Sparsa. Like that, you have the Vishaya Sparsa. That is, the sense organs, they get in contact with the sense objects. For eyes, Rupam is the sense object. For ears, the sound is the sense object. For skin, the touch is the sense object. For tongue, the rasam is the sense object. For nose, the gandham is the sense object. So they are after these 5 elements, all 5 different worlds. The sense objects will have so much of variety. I will show you a beautiful scene. Then nose will be after a fragrance. Then ears will go after a fine music. Like that, they are after the respective sense organs. This kind of happiness is called samsarja bhoga. So this is a kind of happiness which is born out of the contact of sense organs with sense objects. But Paramatma is warning, giving an alert. So what is that alert? So whatever be the happiness you are getting, it is not permanent. This is very, very transient. It can easily be fleeting. It will slip away in no time. So the happiness which comes will also diminish in no time. It will create a kind of vacuum in you and a kind of depression. So, behind each Rajasika Sukham, the Parinamam is it loses its flavor. So even if it is very good and giving you happiness, there is something superior to this. So you are after that, living this happiness. So it is dukkha misritam. Dukkha misritam because you are never happy and you always compare. And even if you don't compare also, this is not a permanent thing. This will slip away from you. So, and leave you in lurch, leave you in unhappiness. So, Vishayendriya Samyogat. Vishaya means Vishaya Vastus, that is Sabda, Sparsa, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhas. Indriya means Pancha Jnanendriyas. Samyoga means union. When the Indriyas are in union with the Vishaya Vastus, you get happiness. Sometimes, when they want to have this union, there will be some kind of obstacle. So you get irritated. So, you want to go to Alps hills and Alps mountains and see the, sunrise. You have taken all the pain and, started trekking and all that. You reached the spot. But that day it was so cloudy, you don't see even sun. So it is a disappointment. So you get this type of obstacles. Amrutopamam. Amrutopamam means this is like a nectar in the beginning. How long? In the beginning only? Etadagre. Etadagre means in the very beginning, it is like a nectar. But in the end, it is like ice cream. You like ice cream, let us say. You eat one or at the most two. If somebody gives you 10 ice creams and if you are forced to eat all the 10, then you are bound to vomit. This is called the law of diminishing returns. So like this happiness is coupled with sorrow also. Like you are, a music lover. In the olden days, these cassettes were there. So you gathered so many cassettes, but how many of you are, playing? You don't play all of them. You play one or two, frequently and forget about the others. Agre amrutopamam. In the beginning, they appear like nectar. But as you start enjoying this, immediately behind that there is a sorrow. Because you may get something much superior to this, a higher version or a better happiness. Because after all, they are Vishaya Vastus. So there can be refinement, there can be superiority between one object and another object. That kind of comparison is always there. So this we have seen in Arjuna also. Arjuna has seen Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya. He thought that he is going to kill them. Immediately, that kind of feeling made him so bad and he wanted to even quit the war. Sidanti mamagatrani mukham cha parisushyate. So, that very thought he could not bear. Whatever you like the most, you don't want to lose it. That is the problem with the Rajasika Sukham. If you are used to a particular Sukham, you don't want to part with it. More you like, more you get depressed with it. Once you have to part with it, you get a lot of dukkham. Pariname means consequences of this Vishaya Sukham is that Vishamiva, it is like poison. It gives you happiness to a greatest extent and also gives the same amount of dukkham while it is parting. Pariname Vishamiva. Tat Sukham Rajasam Smutam. That kind of Sukham is called Rajasika Sukham. It is like this, though we use this electricity, but as an alternate, we keep a generator. So we have water from municipal corporation, but as an alternative, we also have borewell. Because sometimes when they don't supply sufficiently, you have the borewell. So like that, one should escalate himself to Vidyanandam. If he stays only in Rajasika, if he stays only in this Rajasa Sukham, then he lands up with unhappiness. So in order to get a continuous happiness, he should have an alternative Vidyanandam, which is uninterrupted power supply. So just like UPS, which will give you happiness forever. So this is what we have to understand. Atmanyev atmana tushtaha. Because this happiness is within you. It is not from outside objects. So this happiness is the very source which is your own reality. So which you can discover within yourself. So Paramatma is cautioning, don't lean too much on Rajasika Sukham. If you lean too much on Rajasika Sukham, you will have to regret and repent. In Shastra, they give you a beautiful example. One monkey is to enter into a store wherein he sells all pulses and all that. So it enters the store and takes these groundnuts and runs away. So this is happening every day. So the monkey knows where these groundnuts are kept. It slowly, when people are not watching, it enters and snatches the groundnuts. So it will spoil the surroundings. It will eat here and there, and all kinds of disturbance it makes. By seeing the monkey, customers will run away. So much of difficulty. So the owner of that shop, he thought of some idea to punish this monkey. So he kept a jar which has a narrow neck. In the bottom of the jar, he kept these pallis. Pallis means groundnuts. So monkey can understand where these pallis are there by the very smell of it. So it understood these pallis are there in the jar. So it went straight away to the jar and kept the hand in the jar and caught the pallis, caught these groundnuts fistful. When it closed the fist, because of the neck is so narrow, it could not take the hand out. So the owner came nearby and started thrashing it so that it will not come again. Like that, a Rajasic person, though he gets so much of thrashing by his experience, but he will never leave this kind of desires. So he keeps on going one after the other, this kind of temporary pleasures. So this is what we call Rajasika Sukham, which is like a poison at the end. It is like a nectar in the beginning, but poison at the end, because you have to lose it, you have to part with it ultimately. And then comes the Tamasika Sukham. All these are Sukhams. Rajasika Sukham is a Sukham, and Sattvika Sukham is a Sukham, and Tamasika Sukham is also a Sukham. All are happiness, but there are differences. Like Sattvika Sukham is difficult at the beginning, but like a nectar in the end. Rajasika Sukham is like a nectar in the beginning and like a poison at the end. Now we'll see what is Tamasika Sukham. Yattadagre chanubande cha sukham mohanamaatmanaha nidralasya pramadottam tattamasam dahrutam. Tamasam Sukham, tamasic happiness, udahrutam tat is said to be that. Yat mohanam atmanaha, which dilutes the mind. Agre cha, in the beginning. Cha anubandhe, and in the end also. Nidralasya pramadottam, and which is born out of sleep, indolence and negligence. Yat agrecha anubandecha atmanaha mohanam nidra alasya pramada uttam tat sukham tamasa udahrutam. So tamasic sukham is based on the philosophy. Ignorance is bliss and the sleep is bliss. Laziness is bliss. Based on that philosophy, a person who continues to be lazy and enjoys that ananda, that is called tamasa sukham. He doesn't do anything. He is always sleepy and he is dozing and he enjoys that laziness. He gets ananda in that. A tamasika sukham is defined by Paramatma as ajnanam, ajnana sukham, nidra sukham. Laziness is the happiness here. So this fellow is a laziest person. He spends the time in whiling away the time. He doesn't do any productive work. So this is the tamasic person and his sukham is called tamasika sukham. He is also enjoying some sukham. That's why he is like that. So at sukham nidra lasya pramadottam. Nidra means sleep. Alasya means laziness. Then pramada means negligence. And therefore he enjoys all these things. So negligence means he will not care whatever happens, even if a mountain falls, he doesn't, he simply shakes off. He doesn't mind whether he is in Ramarajya or Ravanarajya. So he doesn't discriminate. So whether dharma is taking rules the rooster, whether dharma is taking place or adharma is taking place, it doesn't matter for him. So he believes strongly on the fate. So he will not do any kind of effort. So he says that because Brahma has sent me with this kind of program, I will enjoy. Whatever is possible, I will enjoy. So even Hari comes, even the Shiva comes, they cannot change him. So Harinapi, Harenapi, Brahmanapi Surairapi, Lalata Dikitareka, Parimashtum Nasakyate. Prayaschitta karma, you cannot change. We are puppets in the hands of Bhagavan. So whatever happens will happen. So Tamasika Pravritti is a person who believes Vidhi is the 100% thing which takes the rule. So he simply gives up everything. So Rajasika Pravritti, a person feels that everything is within his hand. And so for a Rajasic person, there are so many targets. So he is mostly towards the mundane things. All mundane success is his target. A Sattvika person is also toiling, but his target is not the mundane things. It is a spiritual target. He wants the purity of the mind. He wants sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. He wants a guru prapti. He wants jnana prapti. Like that, he will be toiling. He believes in free will. He believes in free will. So much so, a Rajasic person also believes in free will. But Tamasic person, he is not interested in free will. He believes only in fate. So, he will not get time to do anything. He is always sleepy and spends the time in negligence and a kind of laziness. Kavya Shastra Vinodena Kalo Gachati Dhimatam Vyasanena Cha Murkhanam Nidraya Kalahenava. So, a person, a noble person, he spends his time in reading literature or reading scriptures. An idiot, a murkha, a tamasic person, he is more indulged in all kinds of vyasanas, all kinds of bad habits, always fighting with people, or he will be sleeping. He is either in a fighting mode or he is in a sleeping mode. So, how will be the happiness of a tamasic person? His happiness is dormant. He loves sleep. So, because he is more into slumber, he doesn't have ahankara. A jnani sheds the ahankara by acquiring jnana, but ajnani also sheds ahankara because of his laziness. Atinidra is not good, but because of atinidra, his intelligence is smudged. So atmanaha mohanam, because of this laziness, he is totally deluded. His intellect is deluded. Here the Atma means the mind or intellect. So it is totally deluded. He will not get the thinking power. He will not get the discriminating power. Agrecha anubandecha. So that kind of happiness in the beginning, at the time of enjoying, and after enjoyment also he is into the delusion because he is always dozing. So tat tamasa mudahrutam. So that kind of happiness is called tamasika happiness. So this kind of person is happy always, but he is totally wasting his time. The entire life is a waste for him. There is no difference between an animal and this person. So a person who totally behaves like an animal also enjoys sukham like a tamasic person. And this fellow, being an intellectual person, he will not use his intellect even 1%. So this is the fate of a tamasic person. And a rajasic person, he is always depends on the external things. He wants to change the world. He wants to change the situation. So he wants to get happiness by changing the world. But it is not possible to change the world, change the situation so easily. So he is always in a kind of tension because all these things, external things, are not under his control. He doesn't know what kind of change happens at any given time. There may be a change in the atmosphere. There may be a change in the fiscal position. There may be a change in the political scenario. There may be a change in the business. There may be a change in the stock market. There may be a change in the behavior of people, customers, family members. So even the relationships, they break. So while relationships between brothers, there won't be any kind of bondage. So between father and sons, that bondage will not be there. That bonding will not be there. Between wife and husband, the bonding will not be there because he looks everything in the business angle. So the life is a kind of a challenge, a wretched thing for him. So he will not enjoy anything for good. Whereas a sattvic person who is a spiritual person, he enjoys the sattvic anandam for quite some time because that anandam is coming within him. That is the ananda which comes within him. So we have discussed about three different kinds of ananda: tamasika ananda, rajasika ananda, and satvika ananda. Tamasika ananda gives happiness in the beginning, in the end also, because it dilutes the person and keeps him always in a sleepy and lazy mood, and he's always ignorant of everything. And this is a kind of sukham he entertains, a kind of dormant nature. Rajasika sukham, it appears like a nectar in the beginning, but it transforms into a poison at the end, because the happiness which he gets from the Vishaya Vastus, they keep changing. So that makes him unhappy. So this is the fate of a Rajasika Sukham. Satvika Sukham, though in the beginning it appears like Visham, but at the end it is like a nectar, because he gets the Anandam because of Atma Jnana, which gives you the permanent Ananda. So this is the lesson. So we will learn more in the next class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.